really sucks here.
Sushi Jackknife. 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 Yeah.
What did you say? Velvet Knuckles badly?
Velvet Knuckles. That would be my boxing name.
That would be your boxing name.
Yeah, I punch hard.
Yeah.
But so smooth. So smooth.
Hard but smooth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Tell Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm next up.
God.
I don't think I'm in his weight class. I'm gonna have to exercise a lot more before I get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Velvet Knuckles. Oh
Velvet Knuckles.
Just the tap of those velvet knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
The sweet, sweet caress of those velvet knuckles.
So can I tell you something?
I would love that.
I'm very pessimistic about this episode of the podcast.
Why?
On the way here, I was driving down the road, just driving, moving my steering wheel like I'm on a TV show with two hands, and they move way too much. And
you were all over the road.
It was a disaster. And a black cat went right in front of me.
Ooh.
Like, that's not a good omen.
Yes.
The only thing that would have made it worse is if you had a ladder just over your doorway. And then I crashed through a mirror coming in.
A lot of things would have to align for all that to happen. Yeah. But yes, that's true.
I mean, if I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah, I mean... It's almost like the universe is saying, guys, you should really stop.
Yeah, so this could be a disaster.
Right.
Something bad could happen to one or both of us.
While we're recording the show.
While we're recording, yeah.
Ooh, insert sound effect here. I don't know what I did, but I did something fun.
I just heard birds chirping outside, which is not nearly as ominous as what you were going for.
Interesting, because we are in a basement.
Yeah, I heard it.
The birds here are so loud.
I know.
They're almost as loud as that train.
I had birds the other day.
Yeah.
I was sort of sleeping in. Like, you know that point where you've woken up, but you're not really awake, but you're kind of awake, and you kind of just keep dozing back in and out of sleep.
Of course.
I was at that point, and birds woke me up.
I hate birds.
Outside. They're very loud. Very loud birds.
Yeah.
If I was renting, I'd call the landlord to complain about the noise of the birds.
This is going to be the bird hate episode, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man.
Let's just name a few kinds of birds and talk about why we hate them.
Cardinals. Cardinals are the worst.
Cardinals?
Yeah.
Is it a sports reference? Or?
It's a sports reference, and also I'm not Catholic. So. Not a fan.
I think that might be... I think you might have more occasion to hate them if you were Catholic.
Well, that's true. I've heard stories.
Yeah, well,
the Catholic Church has a reputation.
You and the
town.
internet have heard stories.
Yes.
In the news media, the tribunals, the court systems.
Yes. Let's see. What? Pick a bird.
The blue jay. Why do we hate the blue jay?
Well, I have nothing against the blue jay.
I have heard that it's a real asshole bird. It pushes other birds out of their territory.
That seems right.
That's a genus of bird.
That seems about right.
Yeah. So. But I like their appearance, if we're going to name a positive thing about a blue jay.
Woodpeckers? Just leave my wood alone.
Yeah. Nobody asked you.
You're not that great.
They're also huge. You ever seen one?
Yes, I have.
They're really big.
A lot bigger than you expect them to be.
Scary sized.
Yeah.
Larger, I'd say larger than a loaf of bread.
I don't know why, but until I had seen one, I always pictured them roughly the size of a hummingbird.
Really?
I don't know why.
That's interesting.
I don't know why I thought that. They are not the size of a hummingbird.
Definitely not, no.
And by the way, hummingbirds, just cut out on the caffeine. Decaf.
There's a line of hummingbirds at a Starbucks. Mm-hmm. There's
one barista hummingbird. Just
with like red bags under his eyes and
questionable ironic tattoos that it will regret very soon.
Fly more, hum less. I love the idea of a little hummingbird Starbucks.
I'm sure there's something like that in the bird kingdom.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this today, speaking of animal kingdom things.
Yeah.
So I was at work and I was in a meeting.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, we're all animals in this room. Like, I mean, that's what humans are. They're animals.
Yes.
And we're all sitting around a table as animals, watching another animal make sounds to us.
Yes.
Somewhere in the animal kingdom, is there another species of animal that has meetings where one, like, chipmunk gets in front of a group of like 20 chipmunks and just, makes chipmunk noises for half an hour? A few chipmunks are paying attention. The others are thinking about other things. One fell asleep.
There's this one persistent chipmunk that won't stay off his tablet. Yeah.
One chipmunk asks too many questions and it makes the others all mad because they want to leave.
Yeah, they do.
But that chipmunk keeps asking another question about something.
Right. And that chipmunk is clearly just trying to get the upper paw in this scenario.
Exactly.
And try to move up in the company.
I mean, it's just chipmunking procedure. You don't need to ask that many questions.
No.
It's not changing.
Right.
There's got to be some other... I mean, I'm not a zoologist. But I'm sure some other animal sits around like that besides humans and just makes noises at each other for a while.
There has to be. Seahorses, maybe?
Maybe.
Glub glub.
Nah, that could be.
Because they're underwater. Glub glub.
So that's what I think about while I'm in meetings at work.
I have to say, I go to similar places. I doodle a lot in meetings. I'm a habitual doodler.
Yeah. And
now I just had a vision of clams under the sea having a clam meeting. What would that be like?
Is that the noise clams make?
No, that was my transition noise.
Okay.
That was the noise to take us under the sea. I'm sorry it wasn't more. This is a low budget show, guys.
I was really hoping that you're teaching your child the clam said.
There is an inherent hypocrisy in animal stories, an inherent hypocrisy. I feel like the cows are always in there, the dog, the cat, the horse. It's all this farm animal crap, and it's like, what kid needs to know what's on a farm these days?
That's true.
Also,
where did they get meow for a cat noise?
That is a great question.
I mean, they make... I don't know. I can't even mimic the noise very well. Yeah. It's not a meow.
No. We had a cat that went me.
See, that cat is focusing on just half of it.
Me. Yeah.
Where's the owl?
Me. It never went owl.
My
really.
cat just... It's not meowing.
I've heard that in other countries they don't notate it as meow. It's something else in Japan, something much more Japanese.
I'm sure.
Yeah. As I struggled for the word, I just said it's much more Japanese. But
oh boy.
Oh man. But going back to the farm animal thing, I almost feel like the animals we should teach our children about first should be dangerous animals. Like, what is a bear? What kind of sound does a bear make when it's getting close to you?
Well, you teach them about lions, just in case your child gets lost on safari.
I feel like lions, sharks, I don't know. What does a herd of wildebeest sound like? Because that'll kill you.
That's true.
That'll definitely get you.
What sound does a shark make?
I think it's the same sound as the clam.
Oh, I was just picturing the theme to Jaws.
Oh, you set me right up for that. I failed you. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that we've used unauthorized musical samples on this show.
Yeah.
If you listened last week, you got a healthy helping.
Have we gotten sued yet, by the way?
Not quite yet. I did get a very threatening email from Peter Gabriel.
Right. Peter Gabriel really needs a hobby. He's just listening to random podcasts on the
man.
off chance that they play one of his songs.
I think that might be his hobby. Yeah.
Yeah. Any word from Colby?
Not heard anything
Okay,
from
so
Colby Sledge.
no lawsuit from him either. Okay, we're good.
I've been participating with him online on Twitter. In fact, today I'm glad you brought this up. In fact, today, welcome to the Sledge update, Sledgecast 2015.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, Sledgecast. In fact, today I was driving through a let's call it a less than ideal neighborhood.
Okay.
On my way home, and I saw a group of men who were gainfully employed in Colby Sledge t-shirts, bright orange Colby Sledge t-shirts, collecting change along the roadway.
Collecting change.
It looked that way. There was a mason jar involved. I saw some money inside there.
And
Maybe they're
for
fundraising for him. He might be a hit in that neighborhood. I don't know.
That's for his campaign.
I'm guessing.
So things are not going well. He's collecting change on the side of the road for his campaign.
He wasn't. He had emissaries. So I'm picturing he's sitting in some throne somewhere atop, Mount Nashville. He's sitting on top of the Batman building, maybe.
Okay.
Just commanding the minds of his orange shirted minions.
He probably has rented a floor in the Batman building and just filled it up with coins.
Oh, I like
a
that
la
idea.
Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, and he's swimming through them.
Yeah.
As
Defying
music
the
plays.
laws of physics.
Oh, I love it.
By swimming through coins.
Watching DuckTales as a child, I always wanted to do that. And you're right, it's completely improbable. It would never work.
It would destroy you if you tried.
It would crush you. I mean, maybe if you oiled the coins, I don't know. Maybe you could slide through them somehow. But yeah, I was always fascinated with that idea. I was like, that would feel so amazing to swim through. It looked like nickels to me, to swim through a room of nickels.
My question is, if Scrooge McDuck had so much money, number one, why hasn't he invested it? That's a poor
rule number one of having
poor
money.
way to look to the future.
Right.
I mean, Scrooge McDuck is kind of an idiot with his money. Number two, keeping it in coins, that's just impractical. What if he wants to spend it?
Totally inconvenient, yeah.
Is he going to get a bag of coins and just go down to Walmart with a bag of coins?
I think he did.
He probably did.
Yeah, I think he had a coin purse.
It's very impractical.
And Huey, Dewey, and Louie are on that show too, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh. Did you ever watch Tailspin?
I did. I liked Tailspin, yeah.
Yeah.
With the, is that a bear that drives the plane?
Yeah.
And there's a kid that wind surfs. I don't know what you call that. Sky surfs. Whatever.
I wanted to do it, whatever it is.
Me too, but having been in an actual airplane as an adult, I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, and having been on top of a ladder, I realized I don't love the idea of being up high without like a lot of metal and windows between me and
concrete,
death.
maybe. Yeah,
so.
I'm right there with you. I am not a fan of heights. I took a couple guys upstairs at work today. We have an echo chamber.
Oh,
and it's not something everyone gets to do, but every once in a while, I'll take someone up there, and it's only accessible by a ladder outside. And one of them couldn't do it. Like he was petrified by the idea. Which was fine. I get it. The only reason, I mean, if were it not my job to occasionally go up there,
you would never go.
Probably would not. And we have like a really awesome ladder now. It's all screwed into the wall and stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's safe.
That's the kind
safe.
of ladder you want if you're going to go up into an echo chamber.
Right. In fact, I had to hire a gorilla one day to jump up and down on the ladder to ensure
really?
the safe. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't believe the stories you tell me. And I feel like this is one of those situations where you're not being entirely truthful. I don't think you hired a gorilla.
Guys, I have a lying problem. It's diagnosed. Currently out of my medication. I take a liquid supplement.
Do you know how I knew that was a lie?
How?
You don't hire gorillas.
No.
You hire the trainer to bring the gorilla.
I'm glad you picked through the logic of my obvious lie with such detail.
I mean, what's a gorilla going to do with money?
What's a gorilla without a trainer? It's a wild animal. You should
Exactly.
warn your children about it. Why aren't we Colby?
Colby.
Why aren't we teaching our children about the dissafety of the gorilla?
Your first action as a whatever it is you're
Metro
running
Council.
for, okay,
District something.
should be to get that in public schools.
Every child's learning book.
Don't worry about the private schools. Get them to teach like evolution first, and then we'll focus on.
What private school is that? I want to.
Oh, I'm sure there are all
school
sorts
first.
of Christian private schools that are teaching the children that the Earth is 3,000 years old, and
It's such a shame.
and
It's
probably no dinosaurs.
Oh,
Which is a bummer, by the way,
that's
because
a bummer.
as a kid, dinosaurs are the best.
The other part of that's a bummer is we keep finding their bones.
Well, I mean, the devil did that.
Oh, where are his bones?
Well, he just sheds bones everywhere he goes.
Oh,
That's,
like a snake. Mm-hmm. Oh, it all ties together.
yeah.
Story of Adam and Eve, the snake, the shedding of the bones.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty good theologian.
Yeah,
This all adds up.
I've read your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we met at the conference. Remember, we were in St. Paul.
How much would I be hated if I wrote into the 700 Club with this theory?
Oh, so well, I don't care because
he
we
might
gotta do it
jump on
anyway.
with it. He might love it.
You might be a guest on the 700 Club.
Man, that's a dream come true.
Can we make a fake? Well, I like this idea. We always have good ideas. Can we make a fake journal article? And make it look like
Oh, we don't even have to make it look like
we
it.
don't. We don't.
No.
You think they'll go for it?
You know what? You can go get any blog platform and just put it on there and go, hey, check this out, 700 Club. And the amount of research they'll put into it, I can guarantee you is less than the amount of time it took me to write that article.
Right.
Which would take about 5 minutes.
So that used to come on TV like Sunday after. I was a child watching TV at Sunday afternoon at like 4, and I didn't realize it was an explicitly Christian show for the longest. I thought it was news,
Right.
And
they try to do that. They try to make you think it's news.
really?
They have reporters.
they do have reporters. Yes,
It's
very okay.
When I'm home from work, I turn on the local news.
Yeah, sure.
And then the local news ends, and I don't think about turning off the TV because I'm doing something else.
Certainly.
It's just background noise.
Yeah.
And then I'll hear a reporter, talking about being at the crying wall or something.
They're always
the
in
Wailing
Israel.
Wall.
They're always
That's
in
what it is.
Israel, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on in here? And then it's crazy time.
It's, hey guys, those bolts? It's time to screw them a little loose. It's the 700 Club.
There we go.
With Nathan and Justin.
I spent way too much time on Wikipedia one day reading all of the controversies that Pat Robertson has been involved in.
Right. I'm familiar with this.
There's so many good ones. The best recent one was when he told a wife who wrote in for his advice that it was her fault that her husband was cheating on her.
What?
Because she probably should put some makeup on.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Oh my God.
I want it on the record. I don't stand by that view.
No,
by the way.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you said that because before you said that, I assumed the worst.
Right.
How am I to know what your views are until you explicitly lay them all out for me? You could be a member of the American Nazi Party.
I'm not a member.
You're not. Neither am I.
And Colby Sledge probably is not.
No, I
maybe.
Though he does have a floor of the Batman building filled with nickels.
Right, well, that's not Nazi behavior.
No, not at all.
That's bizarre
God,
horror
I hope he
behavior.
never hears the show. He's a genuinely nice guy. Or the last show. The last show we defamed him. This time we're making just out and out mockery of his persona.
It's actually a lot more outlandish this time. What with the
I think so.
sea of coins and
Possibly harder to believe. I mean, in my world, that's pretty reasonable. But
my friend just texted me a picture
oh, interesting.
of, and I want to try these. I didn't know this was a thing.
What is this?
Red curry flavored kettle chips.
Oh man, that has to get in my life. That's a good friend. Why aren't my friends texting me pictures of potato chips?
It's not that good a friend though, because it's not like he brought me the potato chips.
That's true. And you are trying to be a healthy person.
This is actually more like taunting.
Yeah.
Texting me a picture of these saying they're amazing. That's like if I were to text you and go, "Hey, I won the lottery. Got a lot of money.
Here's all my money. I'm swimming through it.
Renting a floor in the Batman building right below Colby."
By the way, if you're not in Nashville, and I by the way, thank you all for listening. Seen a cool response lately, and we appreciate it. If you're not in Nashville, you don't know what the Batman building is. It is, in fact, not the building where Batman lives.
No.
That is the Batcave.
And when I moved here, I didn't realize this either. It's not a building related to any of the Batman movies.
Not at all.
People kept saying that, and I thought,
really?
They filmed a Batman
People
movie?
said that? That's
Well, no, they
insane.
said it was the Batman building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't say
I jumped
Batman
to conclusions like a fool.
no. That's
like a fool.
That would be if you're moving into a new town. Wouldn't you want there to be some sort of Batman connection in that town? That would make living there a little more
that's
exciting.
the only
I think.
reason I moved here.
Oh,
I thought Batman was filmed
you were
here.
terribly misinformed.
Yeah, no, I'm going somewhere else. Pittsburgh, I believe, is where
Interesting.
one of the newer Batman films was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
the Nolans.
Yep. Mm-hmm. One of the Nolan features.
You know, I have
Nolan
to say,
features.
those movies would not make me want to travel to the
No,
cities
actually,
where they were filmed.
You would want to go anywhere besides.
Just drive right past them. Don't go to Flint, Michigan either. We've heard it's bad.
I've been to Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Most murdered place in the nation, yeah.
I was reading an article today of the 30 best places to get nachos.
Ooh.
In the United States, and one of them was in Flint, Michigan. And I immediately went next and clicked the next arrow.
So we said all this stuff and we didn't explain what the Batman building is.
Oh, yeah, go
it
back
is
to that.
just a building that resembles Batman. It looks like
Roughly.
it has very roughly. If you've seen like the Batman the Animated Series, where the lines are very stark and his ears are very pointy, it vaguely resembles that.
If you had cataracts and squinted,
Which I do.
at the building,
And I do.
it might almost look like Batman.
Yes, it could also look like a pair of goalposts.
That's more
high in
likely.
the air. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, creative people in this town, I suppose, they said, "Oh, that's the Batman building." It's in fact the AT&T building. Much less exciting.
It's very official, like calling it the Batman building.
Yeah.
They refer to it on the news
as the Batman building. Yeah, they
That's a
absolutely do.
nickname.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Right. And if you go to a Nashville Predators hockey game, they have this great animation of the Predators mascot, like swinging from lightning from the Batman building. It's pretty dramatic stuff.
Yeah, it's also not possible. So don't try that.
No. No. I did have a conversation the other day with someone at work who said he would like to be suspended from the two arms of the two ears, the towers of the Batman building, and just swing. And I said, that's terrifying.
Actually, if they did that, like if they set up a ride up there
man.
where you did that,
Wow.
people would pay so much money for that.
Yeah. Can you imagine the paperwork you'd have to fill out for something like that?
I would assume that it's quite a bit, but people will do it.
Yeah.
They fill out that paperwork to skydive or bungee jump.
This is true. But that
Also, things I will never do. By the way.
never in my life. I don't have the need.
If someone came up to me and said, "We can cure all of the cancer in the world if you bungee jump down here,"
Wow.
I would be thinking really hard about it before I did it. Like, I'd probably still do it,
Yeah. All the cancer in the world. That's a lot of cancer.
but it's really high.
Here's a question for you in that scenario.
Yeah.
If we cure all the cancer in the world,
Yes.
do we have to have like a tumor dump?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. you do.
Easily solved. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some tumors just go away, but others, the ones removed,
Yeah.
you have to take them to the tumor dump.
To the tumor dump.
Yeah.
Do they, is there like a band of countercultural rebels that turn them into soap or something?
I don't know. This hasn't happened yet, but it's possible.
Oh, okay.
It'll be a very valuable place when we all are in the apocalypse.
Welcome to the tumor dump. It's not a fun place to be. I'm thinking this may happen, guys. You may hear this at some point. If we have some odd week, I might just go through all of these and stitch together all the little things that we sing
Oh, no.
into a big old super cut.
I don't know if anyone wants that.
No, I don't think anyone wants that, but it would check off a little box in my brain that said, hey, you should do that.
Well, as long as the box gets checked, it's good.
It's very important that the box is checked, Nathan. I don't know if I've explained this to you fully before, but
You gotta check that box.
it's a one-to-one machine in here.
Gotta check that box.
Now, excuse me while I change out my data tapes. And here we are.
Those are the sound. That's the sound of data tapes.
They are flesh data tapes, yes.
That's gross.
Yeah. All my sound effects are just horribly inaccurate.
Have you ever seen Police Academy?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay, so the guy that makes all the sound effects, I can't think of his
No
name.
one remembers his name.
You're like him if he didn't know what anything sounded like before he started making the sound effect.
So, like, they're like, we need a helicopter sound, and he's like...
That would be his helicopter.
Right.
Yeah.
Or we need the sound of a microwave going off. And he'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's what it would be like.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Okay. All right. We should redo Police Academy with our own sound effects.
Just dub in
Just
different sound effects.
dub in. Yeah. Oh my God. That'd be amazing. Can you imagine? Can you even picture it?
Speaking of things that no one wants.
Add that to the list. That things that no one wants.
How long is it till they bring that back, by the way?
Do they reboot Police Academy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you hear they're double rebooting Ghostbusters?
I very much heard about that, yes.
Double rebooting.
There's a lady Ghostbusters, which I'm always excited to see a
Right.
lady in anything because I like ladies.
Well, and they're funny ladies.
They are. Kristen Wiig is in that, and who else is in that?
Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, and a couple people from the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about
The Saturday
that.
Night Live.
So it's kind of like Bridesmaids, but Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Bridesmaids if they were trying to get rid of ghosts at the same time. And no one was getting married.
That was a great movie, Brides. And then there was such a strong reaction to Lady Ghostbusters, which I don't get at all, that they had to make another boy Ghostbusters.
Just listening to this, by the way, you know how we make stuff up all the time? This sounds like something we would have made up.
Yeah, no, you should.
It's so ridiculous.
Yes.
That I'm listening to it going, no, this can't be true.
Right.
Even though I'm the one saying it along with you, and I've read the articles about it happening.
And you brought it up because you read the yes. No, it does. It sounds like something that would come from our minds, not from reality. But it is true. And I don't know. I don't have a real strong connection to the Ghostbusters movies.
Nah.
I know that is it the second one with the statues and the gargoyles and the painting and
Yeah.
the second one?
Yes.
That one
I think so.
creeped me out royally as a child.
What I remember about the second one, because I didn't watch the second one as a kid. Ever. I didn't watch it until like 2 years ago.
I feel like, okay.
Meh.
Yeah, I feel like
It's not good.
Yeah, well, I've heard that from several people. And it kind of has like a goo going on, and it just makes me think Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a better film.
And it hurts me to
the
say it's not
first one?
good.
Yeah.
Because I like the people in it.
Oh, yeah, all of them are great.
Yeah.
And people love the first one. The first one is revered.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
By the way, did you know Dan Aykroyd's a nut job?
He is a nut job?
Yeah, like he's a complete nutter.
I didn't know
He's
that.
a UFO nutter.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I had wondered what happened to him because he's sort of fallen off the world.
Yeah, well, no, he created vodka.
I knew that.
That
He has a
Crystal Skull vodka.
Yes.
The Crystal Skull, by the way, I read this,
Okay.
is used because it's a mythical symbol for something.
Of
I don't remember what. He's a nutter. He,
okay. A nutta butta.
and he's really into UFOs. Like he actively researches UFO sightings and does things of that nature.
Guys, this is what happens when you get more money than God. You
You need a hobby.
you need random hobbies. Like, I'm gonna make Crystal Skull vodka.
Yeah.
The sad thing is I'm not drinking tonight, and I'm still mispronouncing just as much as I always do. And I'm a little less happy about it. I'm a little more annoyed at myself than I usually am when I
So
have my
the
bourbon
alcohol
medicine.
doesn't make you mispronounce
No.
things. It just makes you okay with it.
It makes me okay with whatever happens when we're recording this show. And that is not how I feel right now. Right now, I am being very self-critical. What you're hearing is a lot of anxiety coming to the forefront. We haven't discussed this yet. I mean, I can only imagine what you and I would do if we were multimillionaires.
Well, I've
with our
already
time.
said what I would do.
You would.
Floor Batman building.
Oh, yeah.
Money.
Right. Swim through it.
Swim. I'd use dollar bills because that won't break my bones.
You come out with smelling really strangely, though. Does cash smell strange to you? Especially like a worn out dollar bill?
But I'm going to Febreze them. Some must come out smelling like lilacs or summer rain.
Oh, lilacs. Very nice.
Summer rain is good too.
That's a good one. It's
a
one.
lot better than fall rain.
Or winter rain.
Yeah.
What does winter rain smell like?
Sadness.
A cold. It smells like a cold. It smells like mucus. I hate nothing more. And I know I'm trying to be Mr. in the moment and mindfulness and enjoy my life and all that and be a good person. But I hate nothing more than cold winter rain. Nothing. Except for genocide.
Okay, so
I hate that more than cold winter rain.
So genocide number 1 of your hates.
I think so, yeah. Well,
Winter
bigotry.
rain number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Number 3? Let's round out a top 5 here.
Number 3 would be a churro that's a little too hard.
Oh, well, that's awful.
Isn't that terrible? Because you order a churro thinking, oh my God, I'm ordering a churro. I'm actually doing this. No one ever gets dessert at Mexican restaurants.
Right.
If you do, what are you doing? No one ever does that because they give you so much food at Mexican restaurants. But occasionally I have gone and I have had like a beer and a churro.
Okay.
Because that's who I am. And it's always disappointing. The churro it's like because they never do dessert. They don't try with the dessert.
The churro is not a good dessert.
Oh, I disagree. I have had an excellent churro.
No, it's... Ugh.
Not in this country.
Well,
Pa?
see, but we're in this country. So
all my arguments need to...
you have to cater to
Okay.
America.
Okay.
America. Okay, number 4.
Put me on the spot here.
Yeah.
Number 4.
I wish that we had some sort of dramatic Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music playing right now.
I can make that happen.
What do you hate? Number 4.
Soggy cardboard.
Soggy cardboard?
Soggy?
Soggy cardboard.
Soggy cardboard is not a thing. What would that be? Cardboard that smells of socks?
It would also be soggy cardboard.
yes, it would. Yes.
So it's not wrong.
No. Whoa, my headphones popped right off.
That is bad.
Yeah, I have to say this list is completely arbitrary, and I have given it no forethought.
Right, number 5?
When the paint comes off your Power Rangers from your childhood.
Oh, that is bad.
Doesn't that suck?
Or any other action figure, by the way.
Oh, speaking of, this is not an action figure thing, but I went to a monster truck show as a child.
Okay.
And I had a wonderful time. I was a quiet indoor type child, but
you were an indoor kid.
I was an indoor kid.
Yeah.
But the monster truck show was uniquely exciting, and they sold the most strange little toys there. It was totally unrelated to monster trucks. It was this hot pink thing that you threw. It was like a double boomerang with a circle around it.
Okay.
And it would come back. It was like a guaranteed boomerang. Like, you know how you get a boomerang, and if you don't know what you're doing, it does not come back.
As a kid, I had one. Never came back.
Mine neither. Just ends up in a tree somewhere. Yeah. Or breaks your neighbor's window. Right. So I had this pink flying disc thing, and for whatever reason, we got to meet the drivers, the monster truck drivers. Like 4 of them. It was like Gravedigger and like the blue one and the
no one knows any monster truck besides Gravedigger, and that's just because they say Gravedigger on every ad,
every single commercial. I'm pretty sure that Gravedigger, like the guy who drives Gravedigger, is got to be like an elected position or something at this point. Like there's a line, like if Gravedigger 1 dies, then like the secretary of Gravedigger. Yeah, exactly. Just like the president.
I kind of just assumed all of the monster trucks were named Gravedigger. I just assumed it was just, and now the Gravediggers, and they all come out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Never been to one.
Really?
Yeah.
It is quite an experience, and anyway, I say all that to say that I got the signatures of the drivers on my disc thing,
which makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know why, and I was so disheartened, a bit heartbroken actually, when all the signatures fell off. They just it didn't stick. And they rubbed away, and then my dad tried to preserve it with some sort of like silicone spray. And then the ink just bonded to that and then flaked off. It was horribly disappointing as a child, and I don't know why that sticks out in my memory so much. But
imagine how much that would be worth today.
Oh gosh, absolutely nothing.
You could be retired now with all that money. Wait, this disc has Gravedigger's signature on it?
Oh my god. I never thought I'd see the original Gravedigger's signature. And on a pink fly disc.
Of course.
Yeah. A double boomerang situation? Wow. This is our excited monster truck guy. Oh, let's call him the Collector.
The Collector?
Yeah, he collects everything.
I like it.
That's a real character, unfortunately. Let's call him The Collector. Now it's ours.
There we go.
The Collector.
Yeah, we can't get sued for that.
No.
It's a parody.
Yes, it's a parody. Yeah.
I'm not sure what constitutes a parody legally.
Wow!
But we're going to call this one.
Me neither. But, hey, man, look at all these buttons. I got a jar full of buttons, man. I was down at the flea market, and I got a jar full of buttons.
By the way, a Z Collector...
Yeah.
has a lot worse stuff than the Collector.
Oh yeah.
Buttons. Just buttons. Lots of buttons.
I had a guy, we were at the grocery store. We were at Aldi the other day.
Yeah.
Because we broke. And It's what a horrible place to grocery shop.
Aldi can be depressing.
It can be awful.
I don't mind going there.
Yeah.
But some of the people that you're there with,
Oh,
you just want to go give them a hug and tell them, hey,
yeah,
it's going to be okay.
especially the children.
I know right now you're buying the day old Aldi bread.
Oh,
The dry Aldi bread. Not even the good Aldi bread. But it gets better.
there's a lot to say about that experience. First of all, Aldi is always a multicultural experience, which is great. Except that people in every other country shop very differently than Americans.
Yes.
Americans are very conscious of their space.
Yeah.
In ways that other people are not.
That's true.
And being a Native American, not
Like Cherokee.
being a Cherokee American like myself, I'm used to the plains and the wide open spaces.
Exactly.
And I expect that in my grocery shopping experience. And I did not get that when I went to Aldi recently. My wife loves it because she thinks we get in and out faster, and I guess that's true because it's less store to sort of navigate. But there's always like a zillion people in there.
And you have to box or bag your own
You
groceries
do,
too.
yeah. And the cashiers are always rude because they have this way that they do things there. They scan very quickly. They abuse your groceries too. They chuck them into the cart with quite a bit of force. And if you don't point the cart the way they want it, they get all upset and they berate you. This happened to me. I was berated at Aldi. And I actually gave a little comeback to the lady, which I never do.
Oh man!
I was pushing the buggy the wrong way. I was trying to turn it around so that the handle would be behind her, because I thought I remembered that that's how they liked it, and I was trying to be considerate. And she said, "No, just right around the corner. Just right around the corner." And she had like an accent that I can't reproduce. It was some sort of.
Right now, she sounds kind of like a cowboy that has smoked a lot.
She had smoked a lot, but she was not a cowboy. She was like a maybe like someone from Pittsburgh. Can you do that for me?
Pittsburgh accent?
Or
oh, hey, I'm from Pittsburgh.
And now smoke a lot?
Oh, hey, I'm from Pittsburgh.
Got it. Okay. All right. So she said, just right around the corner in a very rude way. It doesn't sound rude right now. And I said, oh, I always want to be clever, but I'm not in moments like that.
Right.
Or at all. And I said to her, I said, well, I can't keep up with your ways. You got your ways of doing things, and I can't keep up with them. And then I was like, yeah, that was okay for the moment. And then she's like, yeah, you'll catch on. Say that for me.
Oh, you'll catch on.
Yeah. And I was like, well, if I keep this interaction going, it's going to get ugly, and I'm just going to get confused.
Right.
And so I stopped, and I thanked her very profusely when I was done. But yeah, they abused your groceries, and I was heartened by one thing that happened there, though.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the newspaper, The Contributor?
Yes.
Here in town.
Yeah. For those who don't know, The Contributor is a newspaper that is sold by lower income and homeless people. They keep some of the money and get to, buy things like food.
Soap.
Yeah. The things that, they want.
The necessities of life.
Their food and drinks and things of that nature.
Skincare products. Mm-hmm. So...
you make it sound like they're going and buying like aloe vera or something.
They're all lining up at Ulta to get mascara and.
I need foundation.
This tan doesn't come naturally.
Yeah.
So I was heartened because as we were leaving the Aldi, And I'm shaking at this point. As we leave Aldi, I'm literally just shaking with anxiety.
Just a bundle of nerves.
It's terrible. It's the worst, but saves you money. I think it's a German company, by the way, and that's not a joke.
No, it is, and that's why it's so efficient.
Yes.
They just weave you through all the groceries, and you get to that checkout.
That's right. So as I was leaving, I saw a guy who clearly had been selling the contributor coming in. He had his tag, and he took it off, and he got a buggy. He had a quarter to get the buggy, because you have to have the quarter to get the buggy. He did that, and he had this huge smile on his face, and he was talking to this lady, and she's like, "You must have had a good day." And he was like, "I did. I really did." And then he went in and bought groceries.
Well, that's good.
And I said to myself, this is wonderful. This is what the mindfulness is all about, Nathan. This is about identifying these moments in everyday life. That
You know what's really good about that?
What?
That's not a thing that anyone can just like take a dump on. Like normally if you give money to a homeless person,
right,
or a person selling the contributor for whatever reason they're selling it, someone is going to say to you, well, they just need money for their drugs or their booze.
Yeah, I hear that so often.
They don't sell drugs or booze at Aldi.
That's what I'm saying. There's none of that there. None of it. They don't sell alcohol at all.
No. So he could be getting canned goods.
He could be.
He could be getting breads.
He could be.
He could be getting frozen meats.
Who cares?
Whatever he's getting.
Yeah.
It's food.
It's food.
So deal with that, people who poop on giving money to homeless people.
They do sell like patio furniture.
Maybe he was buying patio furniture.
He's working his way up to a home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. It's like you have all the accoutrements of a home, but no home.
You're going to drive down the road tomorrow and see that same guy selling the contributor, but with a really nice patio set next to it.
I mean,
sitting down at a nice patio set.
This is horrible. This is dark.
Oh.
I have a black light in this room, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong with my eyes.
Why?
Sometimes I come down into the basement, and it looks so dark down here that
you have a black light.
Well,
that's why
it looks dark.
The black light is dimmer than a regular light bulb.
Well, that I know, but it looks so dark. And then the other times I come down here, and I'm like, oh, it's not, and it happens very quickly. And I think there's something wrong with my eyes.
My eyes have been a mess all week.
Yeah?
Because of allergies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're just dried out.
Yeah.
Like, my eyes are like a desert. And so, I like everything from a distance has been all weird and blurry all week. Cause
like
it's
a
all
desert?
Like a desert. Yeah, like the little heat waves in front. No. It's not easy to see distant stuff. Like, I am not blind.
Right.
But
And we should tell people you wear glasses.
That's not their business.
But that...
You don't need to know that.
Personal information. I mean,
Thanks for revealing my medical records, Justin. Great.
Is that a HIPAA violation?
I think so.
Yeah. So what is wrong with your eyes?
What, in general, or this week?
Yeah, well, in general.
Well, they're what doctors like to call not good.
Oh.
I have in my right eye astigmatism.
I've never understood what that is, but I like the word.
It means your eye is not good.
Oh.
And then in my left eye, it's just not good. So my right eye, they're like, here's a reason your eye is not so good. It's this. And my left eye, they're like, also this one, no. They don't have a reason for it. They're just, nah.
Is there something deeply unsatisfying about that? Like, are you walking around?
I mean, I'm bitter, but I'm bitter all the time anyway.
Okay.
So
I wonder if you're bitter because of all these small things in life that have stacked up that have made you bitter. It's not really one thing, right?
Well, I'm bitter because I behave like I'm a 75-year-old man. And most 75-year-old men, for some reason, are bitter about something.
I think it's life not going the way they thought it would.
Well, I'm bitter about it already.
Yeah?
When I'm 75, it's going to be real bad.
You might be standing on the proverbial stool at age 7. Well, if we're still doing this show at that point, which
I mean, it's a few years down the road.
yeah, it's, we're both nearing retirement age. By the way, if you've never heard this show, that's like my gorilla story. That's an out and out lie.
It depends how much money we make.
Ooh, yeah.
We could be retiring very shortly.
We could live forever if we make enough money.
Yeah.
The way medical technology is going and such.
I'm calculating, by the way, how many episodes that would be if I'm 75 and we're
great.
still doing the show.
And we do it weekly.
So,
yeah.
Continue.
Okay. All right. So I think another bird that I hate would have to be the brown thrasher, simply because there's violence right in that name, thrasher. I mean,
We would be nearing episode 2500.
wow,
2500.
20. I mean, obviously Marin is going to beat us there, but that
yeah.
would be quite an accomplishment.
By the way, in this scenario, Mark Maron still doing a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like 110.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's cool.
I think as we get older, parts of our bodies are just going to be sort of dust, but sentient dust.
Tell me what you think about this, by the way.
Okay.
Speaking of aging.
Yeah.
So I read this online.
Okay.
A Google executive has stated that in the relatively near future, we could live to be 200 years old.
What is the scale for relatively?
I don't know. My question is, do you want to live 200 years? Keeping in mind, by the way, your body's still going to start breaking down at the same time. It's not that it's delaying when your knees start to give out and things like that.
So I'm basically an invalid.
Well, I mean, maybe they have knee replacement technology that's easy or something. I don't know.
But my brain is still mostly okay?
Maybe?
As long
I don't know.
As long as I can read. Like, spend the first 100 years doing something.
Right.
And the next 100 years just reading.
Right. Even if you don't understand what you're reading because...
Oh, no.
It's 100 years you've been alive.
I feel like if you get to be like 150, then the whole idea about physician-assisted suicide goes out the window. Like, you're 150.
Yeah.
Off yourself if you want to. Like, the way things are going...
You have permission at that point to do it.
Yeah, like, the way things are going, like, you might not stop living
So
for another 50 years, another half century.
So if you were running for an office...
Yeah.
Part of your campaign would be suicide is fine.
Yes.
Just go ahead and do it if you're of legal suicide age.
Right. Which is 150.
Which is 150. Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm jumping the gun a little, but not by much. I mean, we're going to need to get these kinds of laws on the books now so that when these situations come up later, the problem is already solved. I'm being proactive.
Yeah. I'm trying to find what this is from to see if I can figure out how they're saying this will work.
I see.
They have an anti-aging startup.
Ooh.
According to Fortune magazine, although this is a very old article.
Anti-aging startup, like a company, yeah?
Yeah, a startup company. They're if you examine the genomes of thousands of healthy 90-year-olds, what genetic similarities do they have? So they're just going to pump you full of a bunch of different genetics.
Ew. I don't
Is
want
what it sounds like here.
other people's genes, really.
None of them?
If there's one that will make me more beautiful.
Okay. Technology exists to pump you full of genes of one person. Who's that person?
Oh, and I have unlimited funds, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've retired at this point off of
okay.
our podcasting
Yeah.
wealth.
Okay. Oh, yes. Right. All those T-shirt sales.
2,500 episodes. We've made bank.
Yeah. We've had like 300 plays.
Yeah.
So
Any person.
Yeah.
Alive or dead, because for some reason science has all of them.
I get their genes. Mm-hmm. And do these genes do anything to me?
Well, they make you
like them?
Similar to them.
Okay. Do I have to like jump into like a radiation chamber to activate these genes?
I'm not a scientist. I don't know how it works.
All right.
But there's genes. I assume it's just like a shot where they raise your sleeve up.
Okay.
And now you got the genes.
So this is more of a hypothetical question.
Yeah, no, this isn't at all happening. What, do you think I'm taking you to get someone's genes tomorrow?
Suddenly I thought you were selling something that I didn't know you were selling before.
How much would you pay for this product?
Oh, like $1 zillion. Anyone's genes?
Yeah, anyone.
Anyone's genes. Oh, this is such a fascinating question. So fascinating.
Like, you're still yourself, but you take on aspects of that person.
Oh, I'd have to
But you don't get to guarantee which aspects it is either.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't get to pick and choose.
I think...
You gotta play the odds here.
I think I'd choose like a physicist.
Okay.
Because I feel like my brain stops being able to understand in physics at a certain point. And I'd like to know more. I want to know more about the nature of the universe.
So you're playing the chances that you will get the genes that makes the physicist understand things.
Yeah.
And not the genes that like gives you the physicist's body, which probably not great. Let's be honest.
That's a good point.
Physicists aren't known for their athletic prowess
or their Dionysian beauty. Mm-hmm. Is that a term? I don't think it's a term. Dionysus, I know, was a person.
Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah. Dionysian beauty. Okay, well, let's pick someone on the other flip scale. Mm-hmm. I won't pick a musician then, because if I didn't get their musical ability,
then you'd get their drug problem.
I would get their drug problem, but at least I'd be attractive.
Right.
All right, we're narrowing this down. Let's say, I keep thinking of ladies. What does that say about me? Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
Because because I like the way that he looks. Mm-hmm. He's, maybe not an attractive guy, but he's got a distinctive thing going on.
Right.
And if I didn't get the writing ability, he's got a lot of other great qualities. It's a crapshoot, I know, but
there's a lot to like with Mark Twain.
He's a witty guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he was good with money, but neither am I, so it's fine. He was, might have been born off of a comet. Maybe. Have you heard about this?
I have. I have heard of this.
This is not a legitimate theory, but it is a theory.
I bet Dan Aykroyd believes it.
Oh.
I would put money that Dan Aykroyd at least has investigated it.
Interesting thought. Dan Aykroyd, I wonder if you're out there somewhere. Out there in cyberspace. A sea of ones and zeros. Somehow you magically come across this puny little podcast and you respond and you say, yes, I do believe the theory that Mark Twain rode in on a comet. And when it came back by, it took him with it. Now, interesting question. Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Huge impact on culture, sure.
Right.
Brilliant guy,
yeah.
Sure. But if he was really an alien that rode in on a comet, wouldn't he have done something more impactful? I mean, smart guy, clever guy, cool guy. But wouldn't he have come up with rockets or something?
He rides in on a comet and then writes Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, it's like Is he some sort of cosmic being that just had to get that story out?
Right.
Like maybe his race. Ooh, maybe he had to assume a human body because his race doesn't have language the way that ours does.
Or
Yeah.
all of his race's publishers rejected his story. So he went, I'll go to Earth. They're idiots. They'll love this book.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all I need to do is jump to another planet, and I can get my story published.
Exactly. I'm sure there's a dumber planet than we have. That you can publish anything.
Yeah. Let's not say dumber. Let's say maybe their tastes are different.
No, stupider. Stupider.
It's a pretty bad planet, guys. Planet Flarkus.
Yeah.
Ooh, Planet Flarkus.
It's just their language is just a series of it's just that
they're the
noise.
worst. They never get excited about anything.
No. Well, I mean, they don't understand it well enough to get
They
excited.
just, it's a chronically depressed planet of slugs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
When they start moving,
Planet
in the background, you
Flarkus.
just hear boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Who's
boom,
playing
boom,
this
boom,
music?
boom. There's one of them that knows how to play that song.
Oh.
And because they're so depressed and it's just such a miserable place, that's the sound of them moving.
I like this idea of giant depressed space slugs.
I
I think they would sound like this.
Not to go back to Dan Aykroyd.
Well,
here.
let's go back. If there's a theme at all tonight, it's Dan Aykroyd.
I would love. You know how I feel about aliens.
I don't.
They're nonsense. It's
Oh, no.
nonsense. It's pure nonsense.
Well,
There might be a living creature somewhere. There is no one that has traveled by spaceship ever to our planet. They have better things to do.
I would. Yes, I would.
If they existed, they don't care enough to come here and just hover around for a little bit and then leave.
This is a good point.
Okay.
That's why they've infiltrated our society
So it's
as a reptilian elite.
it's insanity. It's nonsense. I stand by this statement.
Okay.
With that said, I would pay good money to hear Dan Aykroyd explain to me why there are aliens.
Oh, I would too.
If he came to Nashville to do a lecture at Belmont, or probably not Belmont, Vanderbilt probably would welcome it before Belmont. MTSU would welcome it before
Just
anything
because
else because MTSU
just needs things.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we could book a show at MTSU.
Just call them. We'd like to do this. Okay.
By the way, if you're going to MTSU right now, good luck.
It's a quote unquote school. MTSU there.
Yeah.
Everyone I know who's gone there complains so much about that school.
Really?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Beside the
We
point.
should talk to our buddy Colby about that.
If Dan Aykroyd came to give a lecture, I would certainly pay to see that. In fact, they should scrap both Ghostbusters movies. Just scrap those.
Scrap them in the can.
Get him a mini series about why aliens exist.
Oh yeah. And could they put it on like what's that channel that shows like ancient aliens and all that stuff?
Is it sci-fi or is
Discovery or
I don't
one? Anyway, who cares?
Yeah.
Who put it on public access for all I care?
Oh man.
Oh, that'd be even better. Low budget. If Dan Aykroyd explaining aliens. Oh, I
That's
like
the
that.
only way it would happen.
Yeah. Is he a Scientologist?
I don't know if he's a Scientologist. He's a nut job.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is why Google exists.
Yes, it does.
To find out if Dan Aykroyd
So
is...
if a Scientology movie or a movie about getting out of Scientology is called Going Clear, what do they call it when you stop believing in God? Going pastel? No.
He's a former Scientologist.
Former?
Yeah.
Is that worse or better?
That means that Scientology is so crazy that Dan Aykroyd went, no, I'm out.
Right.
Guys,
Yeah.
come on.
He's like, aliens, yes. Living inside me,
Right.
no.
Right.
I've seen my insides.
Let's be realistic here. There are no aliens in me. They're just everywhere else.
Right. Right. They're in government. They're in positions of power. Mark Twain was one. Just wait, he's coming back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And when he does, I will be proven wrong.
Yeah. And Jesus is going to be really pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his gig.
It's on his turf, Twain. You get off of that Christ turf.
You know who would really like that? Mark
Christians.
Twain.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Twain would love that.
That idea?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's also, you know how people always ask you that question of who would you like to have dinner with, dead or alive? I think I would say Mark Twain.
See, here's my issue.
All right.
I might choose Mark Twain.
Yeah.
However, based on some of the famous phrases attributed to Mark Twain, he might have been a douchebag.
Oh, I think he was a douchebag.
And I don't know that I want to have dinner with him.
Well,
Maybe dessert, maybe a cup of coffee. But a
cup of
full
coffee?
dinner...
I don't know.
It
You get a
might
couple
be
drinks in Mark Twain and you see what happens, you know?
I would imagine that it's a level of snark that no one has ever seen on this planet since he wrote away on his comment.
Decontextualized snark, though, because he has no context for the modern age.
Right.
Huh.
He would probably be insulting you, but with words that you don't understand because it's not, 1880 anymore. We don't do that.
Right. Hey, I got like 9 copies of Tom Sawyer as the collector. Making an appearance.
Oh,
my
man.
voice has changed slightly because my dad's not good at accents.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's why.
I
Holy
have
shit,
no
by
idea
the
what
way,
I
this
was even talking
episode,
about.
God.
We've done a lot of things here.
Many things.
We've talked a lot about a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Anyway, Dan Aykroyd, where was I at?
You
Dan
were talking
Aykroyd,
about how he left the Church
Mark
of Scientology.
Twain.
Yes, you were talking about...
Oh, yeah, no, Mark Twain, dinner.
Yeah.
No, he's not invited.
Okay, he's not invited.
No, I feel like that would be bad.
Who would you have, dead or alive? Who would you have dinner with?
Just one person?
Yeah, I'll take multiples.
Okay. Well, number one, Bob Dylan.
Okay.
And not for the reason you think.
No, no.
Like, most people would be like, oh, well, he's a great songwriter. I have been to 2 Bob Dylan concerts, and I have not heard him say one word at any of them.
You just want to hear him speak
I just
a word.
want to hear if he can still say things. Not just warble songs, but say words in a human way. Okay, so Bob Dylan.
Human words. How about Luke Skywalker?
No. He has no hand. How's he going to eat?
Ooh, he's got a robot hand.
Robots aren't allowed in my house.
Robots are dirty. You ever go to Aldi and there's like a million robots?
Yeah,
And
you hate
it's
it.
the worst. It's so hard to get it out of there.
Oh, it's so bad.
Ugh.
Dan Aykroyd is invited to dinner.
Okay. Oh,
Because-
really?
Yeah.
So far,
I really want to
You're
hear him
fascinated with
explain
him.
why aliens are a thing.
I mean, I'm sure if we just tweet him enough.
It just over and
Oh,
over.
over
Why?
and over and over
Dan,
again.
why?
By the way, listeners, I don't know how dedicated you guys are at this point, but do that if you want. Just tweet Dan Aykroyd. Tell me why.
And my third and final guest, Colby.
Colby Sledge?
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
He does. You picked 3 alive people.
Yeah.
I think the crux of this question is pick a dead person.
What?
Like, who picks 3 alive people?
All the dead people probably have bad table manners.
What? Come on.
I don't want.
I feel like this question is always about the dead people. Oh, people always want you to pick a dead person.
I know. Why is that? They always say alive or dead, but they mean dead.
Dead. Yeah. Like, who would you want to have dinner with? Dead.
I don't know.
Okay.
For some reason, my gut instinct is Genghis Khan, but just because I like Mongolian barbecue.
Then you want to have dinner with Genghis Khan's cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming in this scenario, Genghis is providing the food.
Okay. All right.
But
I'm good with that.
like I said, bad table manners.
Oh,
there is no
he
way he was
would.
a polite individual.
No.
Definitely not a dainty man. Not eating carefully.
Hands like hams.
Yeah.
You ever see a canned ham? Mm-hmm. That's what Genghis Khan's hands are like.
That's why they called him ham hands. Ham hands.
Khan. Ham hands Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Trek V, The Wrath of Hand Hands Khan.
Next time someone asks me that question,
Yeah.
and they say dead or alive,
Yeah.
not only am I going to pick only people who are alive, but I'm not even going to pick famous people.
Right.
I'm just going to... The cashier from Walgreens the other day.
Yeah. You know what you should say? You should be like, you when you're dead.
No, but if it was someone dead.
No, you when
80
you're dead.
years from now, you.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. You're not gonna make it that long.
That Google exec doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. And you eat so much salt. So much salt.
And speaking of so much salt.
Really? Speaking of so much salt?
Yes.
I'm impressed with your tethering ability.
This is just so gross to me.
All right.
And I can't express how gross it is.
Okay.
There was a guy I saw at work the other day eating lunch. Ask me what his lunch was.
What was his lunch?
A ramen noodle. By the way, the saltiest of the noodles. Saltine crackers.
Ugh.
Not only are you eating a salty food with a salty food, but they don't even go together.
No, not at all.
And he had some sort of meat. It looked like maybe it was like a hamburger patty, but like, you know how when you have hamburger patties that are overcooked and they're refrigerated, how they look kind of like jerky?
Yeah, totally.
And I swear to you, I saw him salt it. So
What? There's a movie, right, where they need salt. Isn't there a movie where they need some alien or something needs salt?
I don't know. I've never heard of this.
That's something. I don't remember
Maybe
what that
he's
is.
one of them.
And it's like, oh, it's the salt. We need the salt.
Maybe he's one of them. Maybe Dan Aykroyd would be able to tell me about that.
All
Over
the questions we have for you, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, over dinner at a nice, I don't know, maybe a French place.
No.
No, where would you go?
Burgers.
Burgers?
Yeah, burgers.
See, if I was going to go out with Mark Twain, it would not be a date. First of all, keep your hands to yourself. I wouldn't want to go somewhere nice, though.
Mark Twain would try to get fresh, by the
He
way.
would get fresh with anybody. I mean, it would be hard to keep his attention.
Absolutely.
You know? God, so fresh.
I just salt with salt.
With salt.
With salt.
With meat and salt.
I don't know if you've ever looked at the nutrition facts on ramen noodles.
Oh, I have, because I've eaten them so many times. It's deplorable.
The amount of sodium in there. First off, the nutrition facts does not label the package as one serving most of the time.
Correct. It is multiple servings.
And it's still like 60% sodium in the one serving.
As if anyone eats a half of a ramen cup.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you split ramen.
You do not split ramen.
Yeah.
No.
Ramen is to get your friends together and just, split some ramen.
Well, okay. Yeah. You get,
big pot of ramen.
You get around the ramen pot.
Yeah.
You each get your ramen stick.
Yeah.
You get in there. You get a little hook with a shrimp on it.
So after, will this come out tomorrow?
This will come out Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway.
All right.
So this weekend is my wife's graduation open house.
Woo woo.
And I'm in charge of doing things for it.
Yeah.
Which means I need food. What will you give me if the only food I provide is a large pot of ramen?
What will I give you?
Yeah.
Is the question.
What do I get out of this if I do it?
What will I give you if the only food?
Just one, not like a small like saucepan.
Okay.
I'm talking like a kettle.
Yeah.
Kettle of ramen.
A kettle of ramen.
Beef flavored.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's got a lot of deep flavor going on.
I'm not talking like the spicy chicken. I'm not getting the fancy ramen. We're going beef.
I would give you a lifetime of friendship and my depowered Tamagotchi.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to think about that one. That's a good one.
I would if I were you. It's you know.
I really need to figure out what I'm getting.
I don't think a giant pot of ramen is the way to go. Let's rule that out. I feel as if you could get a long way with some sort of bar where you have a food item that you can dress yourself.
Right. Any particular food item?
I've seen hot dogs done extremely well
Okay.
in that scenario.
What about just like a plate of beef jerky?
No, you could
Slim
start with
Jims.
that. Are you saying you could have a variety of dried meats? Why don't you have everything there dried? Every food, you'd have dried meats,
Okay.
you'd have dried fruit.
Okay.
You could have some...
And that's the theme.
The theme is dryness, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Invite your salt guy over. He can help you with that. But I'm picturing a jerky section. You've got a turkey jerky, a beef
Right.
jerky, a Slim Jim, which is a who knows jerky.
Yeah, mystery jerky.
Mystery jerky. You've got some craisins, some raisins,
Dried apricots.
I love those.
Everyone does.
Dried pineapple. Who doesn't like that? Dried mango. Maybe the best thing on this green earth.
Is there a dried vegetable?
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay, you got one.
I think so.
Because I was just trying to think of one.
You know those little snappy peas?
Are those dried, though?
You can dry those. You ever see the little tippies?
You're right.
Yeah.
We have some of those
Snap peas.
at the house, I
Those
think.
are great. You can have some of those. I think that's the only dried vegetable. Sun-dried tomatoes. Technically a fruit. Never mind.
Yeah, doesn't work. Also, not good, by the way.
Sun-dried tomatoes?
Oh, I don't like. I love tomatoes.
Really?
Hate sun-dried tomatoes.
Love them. Put them on a pizza with some feta.
Nah.
No?
No. Keep my tomatoes out of the sun.
All right.
I want them shaded.
All right. So all you got so far for your vegetable section is your snappy peas.
Yes, that's all I need.
And then I'm picturing for your dairy just like evaporated milk.
Okay.
No, dried milk.
Right.
Yeah. So you take a spoonful of that.
Uh-huh.
And you could have like maybe some, I don't know, like a bubbling cauldron of water.
Okay.
Or something they could pour a little bit with it, make a glass
there's no water.
of hot milk.
You can't have water.
Oh, yeah.
though.
It's a dry
It's
party.
dried.
Dried.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a dried party.
By the way, I'm really excited for someone to ask me for a drink
Yeah.
because guess what I give them?
Oh.
Just a packet of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Just the packet.
Use
If
your
they
saliva.
want, I'll open it up,
Yeah.
pour it in a glass for them.
You could even have. Everyone has glasses of sugar. There's a sand fountain.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
Just a pump pumping
It's-
sand out of a little boy with.
It's like a fountain, but you just hear
yeah. Right. There's a
it's just air coming out of it. Yeah.
I like this dry party.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, this is actually making me like want some water really bad.
We'd have to go get
thank
a
God I have water.
dehumidifier.
For the whole house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah, because you don't want it's very
I
humid
want
here.
so dry in there that people get nosebleeds.
Yeah.
That's how
Ooh.
dry it's going to be.
And then they could use that to mix up their Kool-Aid.
Well, they better not. It's a dry party. You're not allowed to have any liquid.
So strict, this dry party. Okay. What else do we have at the dry party? I mean, obviously you have some pebbles on the floor and some cacti. That could be your decorations.
Right.
They thrive in the dryness.
I like that. Leather of all sorts.
Yes.
It's
Fruit
dry.
leather. That's another thing you could have.
There we go.
Yeah. And then leather, you could be dressed all in leather, which is in fact dried.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so now everyone has to wear leather. to the
leather.
party.
All leather.
All leather.
Yeah. Oh, this is turning into a different sort of party.
Yeah,
Nathan.
I don't. Let's take that part out of
okay,
the party.
all right,
We
all
don't
right.
want that part.
You can wear your normal clothes.
Right. But they have to be dry.
Yes.
If you come
you-
in in wet clothes, you're kicked out.
You're kicked out automatically, yeah. No playing with the water hose before you come to this party. Mm-hmm. All right.
The official deodorant of the party, by the way,
Yeah.
Arid.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't wear that, you can't come in.
Can't come, and we'll be smelling you.
Yeah.
To be sure. I mean, we won't. There'll be an appointed,
Yeah,
probably a child.
I'm gonna be way too busy to
Yeah.
be sniffing pits.
Right.
I've got to be restocking.
We'll pay a neighborhood child.
I've got all the Kool-Aid packets. I've
Yeah.
got to be tearing those open.
You got lots to
for
do.
people.
You could have for activities. Sand painting.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, I like that.
This is a very dry party.
Very dry.
Ugh. I just said this, I know, but my mouth is so I can't. Let's have a wet party instead.
No. Dry party.
Can I have a wet party?
You're not invited to my party.
Well,
You have to. It's a dry party.
what about a paste party? Everything's a paste in between.
And for entertainment,
Yeah.
it's going to just be Stephen Wright's stand-up. So dry.
It's very dry.
So dry. That's the finishing touch.
That was the smartest joke of this whole episode.
I know. And I tried to present pretty dryly. So
And you did. Well, I think we've reached the point where we just say thank you.
yeah.
This is a point this is the thank you corner.
Yes.
Everything is flowers here. This is not a dry place. This is a lush place we go to now.
If you wait a couple weeks, it'll all be dry.
Yeah, we forgot to water all the lush flowers. So welcome to the lush thank you corner. Thank you. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for spending your entertainment non-dollar with us.
Yes. Feel free to email.
Yeah, we haven't given the email out in like 10 episodes. SushiJackknife@gmail.com is the email address.
Tweet us.
I am reachable on the Twitter at Justin L. Croft. We also have a at Sushi Jackknife Twitter.
Yes.
And Nathan, do you want to give out your Twitter thing?
No, I don't really care.
Okay, he doesn't.
I don't pay attention to my Twitter, so if anyone gets it and they tweet me,
Yeah.
I'm probably not
Tell them
going to
about
respond.
your blog.
I haven't written on it in too long.
Oh, okay. You can also we have a Tumblr page that has one thing on it.
Yeah. We
If you-
probably should put more on there.
There are other things we could put, I'm sure. And yeah, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. We're also on Stitcher, by the way.
Stitcher.
If you're hip to the stitch,
If you're
Yeah.
listening to us on Stitcher,
then you've
congratulations, you already figured that out.
You didn't need that last
We just
announcement.
wasted so much of your time telling you about
We
that.
did, didn't we? I'm so sorry for you.
We owe you roughly 5 seconds back.
And counting. So on this giant slug planet, I can't get over this idea.
Giant slug planet.
I really. There's one musical slug, just one,
Just one.
just one.
Yeah.
And do his song for me.
And
again?
he only plays it to torment the other slugs. Just
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
His little
boom, boom,
sadistic
boom,
musical
boom,
slug
boom,
is what he
boom.
is.
Yeah, with a slug tuba.
Oh, that's a tuba.
Yeah.
I thought that was some sort of mouth noise. Do it again.
Well, I mean, it could be a mouth noise.
Well, no, do the
boom,
tuba.
boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
That sound that I'm making, that's
Boom,
Slugs
boom,
movie.
Boom, boom. See? It's not good.
Just do it a little more. A little more.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, it really sucks here.
By the way, the reason the tuba stopped, the tuba slug hates it. He was the one screaming that.
Yo.
Tuba slug hates the planet.
Tuba slug hates playing the tuba.
Yeah.
So why
They're all so miserable on this planet.
This is the worst place in the galaxy by far.
We'll ask Dan Aykroyd about it
On the next
Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife. Oh yeah, that's some sweet ass Indo music.